The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
Because emunah doesn't mean I believe there's a God. Hashem doesn't need your endorsement. It doesn't mean that I have faith that there is a God. Hashem doesn't need our haskama. Emunah means that I know there's a God. But I know that He's in control. And everything He does is for the best, is chesed. Even when it doesn't feel that way. So let me just close and tell you this. My brother, Rabbi Ari from Israel, he has a yeshiva out there, Ma'alo Dafna. And he tells me an amazing maisa, and I was staying by him in January on midwinter, so I went over to the neighbor, and I heard it again from the guy that it actually happened to. So listen to this. He has a neighbor, a Yerushalmi guy. And this Yerushalmi guy is a holy Jew. But he's extremely poor. You know what this guy does for a living? I wish, not the poor, but I wish I had a little bit of zichut of what this guy has. This guy goes around to all the Mekomot HaKadoshim, all the Kvarim in Eretz Yisrael, and he refills the oil. That's what this guy does. So this guy's constantly traveling to Tzfat and Tveria. You ever see that they have those little oil tanks on the, and they light, especially on the yard side? So he would go from the Arizal and Shimon Bar Yochai, and he goes to Amuka, and he has a certain, a maslul. He has a certain thing that he goes on, and he covers all the kvarim of he has an incredible list, and he fills it up with oil. What is zichut? What is zichut? So this guy, although he has a great job, he's penniless. Oh, the boss is calling. He's penniless, so it comes time for his first daughter. She gets engaged. A wonderful bacher. And he doesn't have a nickel to make the wedding. So he goes out and he borrows and he borrows and he borrows. This is the first wedding he's making. He wants to make it special. This is his oldest daughter. Sadeket of a girl. And the guy is a special chatan, special guy, Talmud Chacham. So he goes out and he borrows $22,000. It's going to cover everything. Everything. Like they say in Hebrew, complete. Everything. The night before the chasana. He has everything set up. The night before the hatuna. They're sleeping in the apartment in Ma'alo Dafna. The guy breaks in. The guy starts going to the downstairs apartment and he's ransacking the place, tiptoeing around. And they're out cold sleeping. Nobody hears a thing. And he finds the hiding place under the belatot where they put the cash for the next day's wedding. And this guy walks out with some jewelry and 22 grand in cash. Next morning, this Yerushalmi guy wakes up thinking that it's the most happiest day of his life. It's his daughter. It's his first daughter is about to get married. And he comes downstairs and he finds the place ransacked, upside down, completely. He's looking around. What in the world happened? And then it hit him. He screams to his wife, "We were robbed! Oy vey!" She comes running down. Everybody comes running down. And he runs up to the belatot where he knew he had the stash. And it's gone. Like they say in Brooklyn, it's gone. It's gone. He turns to his wife. His wife bursts out crying. He says to her, "Relax. I'd like to make a bumper sticker one day." That's it. No words. No words. Kacha. I heard that they have an emoji now that goes like this, right? And I didn't even get royalties. He told her that was the conversation. He goes out, he prays Shachrit, and after Tefillah, he goes out to the hall. And he sits down with the guy from the hall and he shows him the police report. He was robbed the night before. And the guy, Ashrechem Yisrael, what can I tell you? The guy's heart broke for him. He says, "Listen, I'm only going to charge you 10% what I was going to originally charge you, and you can pay it to me over time. I'm just literally less than my cost I'm charging you." He says, thank you. He goes to the caterer. The caterer says, "Ha'ochel alai. I wouldn't take a penny from you now if you even wanted to pay me. Nothing doing." You have to know what it means, Yidden. You have to know what a Jew means. You have to understand what this means. That's why he picked us. That's why we were chosen in the orphanage. You have to get that. He goes to the Tizmoret. The guy says, are you joking? I'm going to play for you overtime. I want to be Mesameach Otcha after what you just went through. You pay me a nickel. He went to the photographer. Photographer tells him, Habibi, whatever you pay me, you pay me. You don't have to pay me. I'm giving you the best pictures you're going to hang up in the house that was wrong. Unbelievable Jews. These are unbelievable people. He comes back home to his wife and kids. And he tells his wife, listen, you're not going to believe this, but this is what the photographer said, Tizmoret said, this is what the Paul says, what the caterer said. The wedding is on. The wedding is on. Okay. That afternoon, everyone gets into their suits, gets into their gowns. He's a large, a large family. They come all pouring out. They come out, Ma'alo Dafna, from the building, and they're going to the Chatzer in the back where the cars pull up and they're waiting for the tender. They're waiting for the monit. They're waiting for the taxi to come to take him to the hall because they're going for the pictures. So the husband comes out, with his kids, and the kala, all dressed in white, and they're coming down together in gowns and suits. And his 6-year-old youngest girl, all dressed in gown, runs out into the parking lot. She was so excited to go, so excited to get there. She runs out, breaks away from the crowd, runs out into the parking lot, and she runs into the parking lot, and just then a truck turns into the parking lot and hits her flat on, and she's airborne. 10, 15 feet in the air, she comes down on the concrete. And then she jumps up, and she cleans herself up. And she runs up to her father and says, Abba, hamonit on lo higia. The father took this kid, picked her up, hugged her, kissed her, hugged her, and he screamed on the top of his lungs, thank you for taking the money! You did me the biggest chesed in the world. Thank you for taking the money. Verves, who knows what that money paid for? Thank you for taking the money. That's chesed. That's emunah. What he did was chesed. But it doesn't feel that way. Yeah. But he's kol kulo chesed. And he's kol kulo ahava. And he's kol kulo rahmanut. And he's el rahum hanun.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org